The first 50,000 or 100,000 euros in revenue when you start is geometric growth.
So you have to decide, are you playing to win or are you playing just not to lose?
We spoke the same language. It doesn't matter if we had disagreements this and the other, our drive to win, like we have to win. There's no other option.
Rise and shine, it's espresso time.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee and sip on today's message from Dan Pena. Also, if you want to learn how to have more confidence, check out my 254 series. It's free. The links to join are in the description below.
But no one does know initially, up front. You have to try. You have to swing at the plate. A kid like you, if you had to keep track of 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, what you do. A number of you have started a business at one time in your life. The first 50,000 or 100,000 euros in revenue when you start is geometric growth. So everybody that has ever started a business that generated any income, that's geometric growth because it's starting from ground zero to the first 50, 100. Everybody with me? Okay. What happens? You stop playing to win and you start playing not to lose. When you decide that you really want to invoke permanent change, you start playing to win all the time. And nobody preaches that. They say, keep 6 months of reserve in your bank account, right? In case you lose your job. That's a common book. For the first 30 years of my life, I spent 125% of every penny that I made every year. I was always, as you would say, in debt instead of debt. I don't know why I call it debt, but in debt. Why? Because I didn't want any backup. I didn't want any plan B. I either succeeded or died financially.
Most people are so afraid to lose that they don't even try. So when you have nothing, when you're at the bottom, you've got nothing to lose. And so it's very easy to go off and try. But as soon as there are stakes, as soon as you've won just a little bit, now you risk losing something. And this is where most people back down and play small for life. And so you need to decide. Are you playing life to win or are you playing life afraid to lose? So I look at my YouTube channel as an example. When I started it, there was no risk. Nobody knew me. Nobody was watching my videos. I could go and fail, didn't make a difference. I could try a whole bunch of different things. Whenever the algorithm changed, I got pumped because the people who were ahead of me were complaining and would be romantic and would want it to go back to the way it was. And I'm like, hey, algorithm change, amazing, let's go. I'm gonna learn that new thing. But now I've gotten bigger. Right? Now, I think I have more views than anybody in the entrepreneur space on YouTube. And it's easy to now be protective. It's easy to say, well, I built this thing I don't want to lose. And I hate that. I need to destroy that. I want to be constantly losing, constantly testing, constantly risking. Now, not risking it all, not putting everything on the line just for one thing, but to be willing to test, to be willing to fail. As an example, I split up my channels. I split up my channels into 8 different channels. I got an advice from Matt Geelan. He's one of 5 people who I would put on my hand as people who I would listen to for YouTube advice, right? He was one of the 5. And another one of the 5 said, don't do it. So I got 5 people who I would listen to about YouTube. One person says, split up your channel. One person says, don't do it. What do? I have to do it just to see, because I know what not splitting up my channel looks like. It's what I'm currently doing. But splitting up my channel, I won't know if it's going to work or not until I actually go off and do it. And so I did. And here's a newsflash. It's not working yet, right? My other channels, the most I think has 8,000 subscribers. I have 2 around 8,000 subscribers and the others are smaller. And they're growing every day and they're gaining momentum every day. But overall, my subscriber growth is down. My views are down. My revenue is down. Everything is down. It's all down. Watch time is down. Everything is down. Is it a big failure? I don't know. Maybe. I'm going to give it more time and see. It's a risk, right? I went from making 3 videos a day on one channel to making 1 video a day across a couple channels. And then, once a week on some channels, and we have 8 different channels now. It's more headache, it's more management. Maybe ultimately it will work out. Or maybe in 6 months I'll come back and say, man, that was a giant failure. That sucked. But I won't know until I try. And that's where you need to risk it. That's where you need to try. You need to see, you need to test, you need to taste it. Because if I just take that mindset every time of saying, well, this is what's always worked, and so I need to protect this and stay true to this, and that's it, and I can never change. One, I'm going to eventually hate my life. I'm going to hate my business, because you need to evolve, you need to change, you need to grow. What got you success is amazing, but if you then do that same thing over and over and over forever, you're going to feel like you got yourself a job. Why did you leave your job to do this thing, to have creativity and freedom and fun, not to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, right? You have to evolve your business as you evolve as a human, or your business will start to flounder and suffer. And it happens to so many entrepreneurs. You see this growth, and then you see this plateau, this long plateau, and people start to get more and more bored with their business and with their life, because they're not evolving their business as they evolve as humans, right? So if I did that with my YouTube channel, I would start to struggle and suffer, and you see it with a lot of YouTubers. Now maybe in 6 months I end up going back, right? Or maybe I never go back. But there's always going to be some new iteration, some new version, some new thing that I'm willing to risk, even though I've grown my channel. I'm among the biggest in the space. And so always having that mindset, I want to win. I want to win. I want to keep pushing. I want to just not play life trying not to lose. And so when, again, at the beginning, it's easy. But once you start building something up, and that's in your business, that's in your relationships, like your relationship will need to evolve too. What got you there is a good starting point, but you're going to evolve. And your spouse or your boyfriend, girlfriend, they're going to evolve too. And can you evolve together? I think the test of a relationship is how much can you evolve together? Because if you're growing and learning and improving yourself, and your partner's just staying still, you're eventually going to grow apart. Or if your partner's going a different way, you're going to grow apart even faster. But you're going to grow. Nobody just wants to stay static forever. And so can you weave and grow together? That's the game. So you have to decide, are you playing to win, or are you playing just not to lose? So how do you play to win? I'm going to give you a 3-step process that I think can help. Step number 1 is use the fear of regret. Use regret. Regret is very powerful, because if you look at people who are at the end of their life, in old age homes, who can't do it anymore, who can't chase their goals anymore, they're filled with regret. They're like, I knew I had potential. I knew I could have done something, but I didn't because I was just too afraid. Use that power for yourself. You're afraid to do something. You're afraid to change. You're afraid to risk something. You're going to be 95. You're going to be on your deathbed soon. Like, imagine you're there right now, and you never took the thing that you wanted to do. You never got an answer. You never chased it down because you were afraid. You're gonna hate your life. That's where most people are at. But the good news is you can come back to this year, right? You can step back into your body right now and say, I can do it. And so adopting the mindset that you would rather know and fail than not know. Not knowing equals regret forever. Knowing and failing, you can deal with it. You very rarely regret the things that you do. It's most often the things that you did not do, that you were afraid to do, the actions not taken, that people regret. And so don't be like that. Whenever you're afraid of doing something, take that test. Use the regret test. Imagine yourself at 95 in a rocking chair in an old age home, and you never did the thing that you're thinking about right now. Would you regret that? And whatever you think that you would regret not doing, you have to summon the courage to do it right now. Step number 2 is understand that your setback primes your comeback. Your setbacks prime your comebacks. Nobody's on top always, right? It says drop and then you come back even higher. And so whatever you want to go off and do, right? Whatever change you want to go off and make, chances are, 1, it's not fatal. Like, you can always come back to something, right? If you want to take a year off after university to go be an entrepreneur instead of going to that job, right? If you're in a job that you hate and you say, you know what, I can always get another job, so I'm going to try for a year doing my own business. It's not fatal. You can always come back and do it. You can always come back and get that crappy job. You know you're capable of it. You know you're probably more than capable of it, of what you're doing right now. But the thing is, you're probably not going to go back to it, right? Like, you're leaving it for a reason. You don't go back to your ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend. You go back to that crappy boss. Because in that time, even though you may have failed a whole bunch of times, you've learned and you've grown. You're a stronger person because of it. So that setback primes you for your comeback, because now you're a stronger person. You're capable of more. And you'll find the next path. The path that you chose may not be the ultimate path for you, but you know that the path you left is not the path for you either. And so better than sticking on some path that you know that you don't love, it's better to go off and explore, to test, to taste, to try. Most people don't do that enough. And they're so worried about the failure You're worried about this new path failing and not working out. You can tell yourself you can always go back to that thing. And you can, and the facts are you can. You can go back and do what you're doing before, but you probably won't. Even if the thing that you jump to doesn't work out, you're not going back to where you were, because you're stronger, you've grown. And that'll set you up for the comeback. That'll set you up for the next great thing in your life, because you won't find the great thing doing the thing that you hate doing. And step number 3 is say it's the best. I've trained myself that whenever something really negative is happening to me, I say, this is the best. This is the best. What was the best part of me going on my tour for 90 days, 23 cities? Breaking my neck. Broke my neck in 2 spots, had a concussion, 3 staples in my head. I still have, you can kind of see down there. How do I point? Right there. There. Got my 2 neck braces that I had to sleep in and be in basically all day long except for a 10-minute shower. That was the best part of the tour. Not just positive attitude, like it's the best. It's actually the best. Because that negative situation that you're dealing with right now makes you stronger. It shows you what you're capable of. Thank you. Your purpose comes from your pain ultimately, right? Like the thing that you want to do for the rest of your life comes from the most painful moment in your life. Whatever you struggled the most with is the thing that you want to help other people through. And so thank you for that crazy pain. Somebody who hasn't been through pain never accomplishes anything amazing. So thank you. This pain that I'm going through right now, amazing. Let's go. This is the best. If you could just change that mindset tweak, next time you find yourself complaining, angry, upset, frustrated, tell yourself, just try it. This is the best. This is the best. This is my chance to show myself and the world what I'm made of. This is my chance to grow. This is the best. And watch how quickly it puts you into a resourceful state. Instead of being hopeless and complaining and upset and frustrated, now you feel like things are possible. Now you feel hopeful. Now you're resourceful. And now you're way more likely to solve the problem instead of sitting there complaining about it. It's the best. Now I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, question of the day, I want to know, what do you need to start playing to win at today? Let me know in the comments below.
96 through 99 was a frustrating point. I don't know about, well, maybe a little bit for you, but for me, being one of the best bigs in the league, and having that title of not winning one. I ain't got one yet.
Right. I
remember one day reading in the paper, oh, Shaq's averaging 20 or 30 and doing this, and the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said, well, he didn't win none yet.
Right.
So is he great? And that just kind of,
yeah.
You know.
Well, I one thing that, I understood was your necessity to have to win one. There was a lot of pressure. And I think there was a lot of frustration because you kept seeing this kid. And everybody kept saying, okay, be patient with this kid, be patient with this kid. And you're saying, listen, I don't have patience. I have to win now. And this kid needs to develop now.
Remember that?
I think I can remember the first time we had our first fight, and you looked and said, okay, this is crazy.
I did say that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, crazy.
You did. Anyway, we were playing a pickup game. We was doing a lockout season, Southwest College, playing a pickup game. We're on opposite teams.
Right.
And trash talking.
Yes.
And you kept saying, yeah, take that little. I'm like, I'm looking around. Oh, me.
Yes.
Right? And I said, oh, hold on, ain't gonna be too many more of those little,
Yeah, I remember that.
And what'd you say? Well, what you gonna do about it? Well, what you gonna do about it? And then that's, the next thing I knew, I saw a big hand coming this way, and I remember going this way, and I remember throwing some lollipop, Golden Polynese came and caught, and then they all just kind of broke us apart, broke us up. I'm looking at this and I'm saying, man, he wants this thing. It affects him, right? I mean, it consumes him. And then from that moment on, I knew we spoke the same language. It doesn't matter if we had disagreements this and the other, our drive to win, like we have to win. There's no other option. We're gonna figure this out, we're gonna get this done. And we did it.
Portland has 3 timeouts left, the Lakers have 2. Bryant to shot!
And if you want to know why Dan Pena thinks most people lose, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
I've been busted up over the years. I do a lot of extraordinary things, not the least of which getting run over by a buffalo.